Well, hello, hello, hello there, my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign. Welcome to your Samhain and Mercury Retrograde reading. Really, for the end of October, the last day of October, which some people consider Halloween as Samhain. I personally don't, but we'll get there. We'll talk about that. Samhain, yeah, it's an astrological thing. I'll get there. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, president of Drawing the Circle Productions. Professional witch, professional intuitive, and Leo rising. Don't I look it? Yeah, I should. Got enough jewelry on there, Mal? Yeah. Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. Please call me Mal. All my closest friends do. Now you're all my friends, right? Oh, so if you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers so I can do super live chat. How fun is that going to fucking be? I've been reading cards since I'm 12 years old. So if you're new to the channel, go look at some of my other stuff. You know, I was a public speaker and a spiritual teacher for decades and reading cards since I'm 12. So becoming a YouTuber sort of out of nowhere, well, no one rises from the ashes quite like Leo's, right? Even Leo rising, make it look good. So to my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing and watching and following along. I love the comments and the feedback, and I've been getting quite a number of clients from around the world, which is kind of fun. I mostly do readings on Facebook Messenger just because it's easy enough. You don't even have to add people as friends anymore to chat with them on Facebook Messenger, but I can do Skype and good old telephone too. Cool, cool. So just to clarify what this reading is, there's a reason why it says trigger warning in the description box below. So please go read the description box. I've got links up there for the books that I wrote. They're both ebooks, made them myself, self-published. Drawing the Circle Productions is a production company, right? Our Leo fifth house creativity and good fortune, right? But this reading is about spiritual alchemy, right? This is about where you are in terms of your lead to gold ratio. What's the emotional baggage you're letting go of? Because it's not just Samhain tide. Samhain, Halloween. All right, let's do this. Halloween is October 31st, right? It's secular. It's chaos night. It's fun night. It's trick-or-treaters. Samhain, really, if you're going to go astrologically, no, I'm not an astrologer, but I can speak the language pretty fluently, right? And so can my baby son, Melchior. Come on, it's Leo time. You want to come watch? Come on up. Come on, booger. Come on up. No, of course. My Taurus, stubborn fucker. I love him though. So yeah, the astrological cross quarter of Samhain, which is the last spoke in the pagan wheel of the year. It is the death part, right? It's if you like to think of it in moon cycle, it's the dark moon before new moon. So winter solstice in 0 degrees Capricorn, right? In December, we're looking at Samhain being 15 degrees Scorpio. So it's about it is halfway through the sign of Scorpio. So that usually hits about a week afterwards. So what's all that about? Considering Mercury retrograde, Mercury just doesn't go retrograde on Halloween. It goes retrograde in Scorpio. It's like, oh, a fucking double whammy. And that's why the guides are like, do this reading. They gave me a new spread to do. It really works. Oh, go check out the Cancer reading that I did. Holy crap. Holy, that was something else. That one was completely unexpected, but that's a Scorpio energy for you, right? Things being revealed, secrets being revealed, mysteries unsealed, etc., rhyming and all. So let's dive in. If you get triggered, I'm so sorry. But, well, also keep in mind that this might not be your reading, right? It's like I'm reading a collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign. So, you know, that's a lot of people in a collective to be reading for. And that's why I do the different signs, so that maybe you'll get a piece of this reading that's you. The rest of it might not be. So just go watch one of your other signs so you can get other puzzle pieces. I think that's just really helpful, you know. And cross watchers are always welcome on my page, on my channel. Cool. So is that it? Is that all the business? You've been warned, right? So if you get triggered, oh, remember to breathe. I may say it a couple of times. The spirit nudges me to breathe. When they tell me breathe, I'm going to say breathe. Because these have been intense. I won't lie, but they're supposed to be intense. It's a Samhain Mercury retrograde. Astrological Sabbath clusterfuck read. But huge opportunities for healing, spiritual alchemy, embracing the shadow, rethinking things, just amazing. So what we're going to do to start What? Oh my God. Come up here. Come lay down with mama. Motherhood, really? Yeah, I'm a divine feminine. You think? Come on up. Come on up, Bugs. Oh, so you're burning camera time? There he is. There's my Melchior. Yes, I have 3 black cats. Sebastian, Balthazar, and Melchior. And here comes Sabby. Well, I guess we're having it. We're having a feline show. You want to come up on this one? No, you want to eat the cat food balls? I apologize. Not editing that out because they are adorable. He's already gone. Fuckers. So we're going to start with the Caroline Myss archetype card. All the decks that I read are in the bottom of the description box. It's just easy for me to add a new one. You know, at each reading, I usually work with some of the basics, but occasionally I'll throw a new one in or an old one in. And this is going to be sort of like the main energy of your read, right? It's going to be the archetype, the soul power, the piece of your soul contract most important for you to alchemize from lead to gold. And then wait till you see what we do with that with the other decks. So the cards have been blessed. My gods, my angels, my masters and the higher selves of all involved. We're all tuned in here to you all, so let's do this. Take a nice deep breath. And if we can, let's try and slow our roll a little bit. I don't care how long these readings go. These are important. They're only going to be once a year. This is a one-shot deal, this series. So, my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. One card to represent the Leo in this Leo collective sun moon rising Mercury collective for Samhain season 2019 in this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, which is from Halloween October 31st to November 20th. I could not be happier. The hedonist. I'm so fucking thrilled. You know, it's hard not to, you know, it's hard to keep personal stuff out of it, but oh my God, I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. The hedonist is actually one of my lifelong archetypes. Can you tell? And it's in Virgo, you know, but I'll take it. I'll take it there. That's lovely. Oh, let me read this. Sorry, that took me away for a moment. Just the anticipation. I'm so down for this. So usually I read the light attribute and the shadow attribute because every archetype is neutral. So if you think of the shadow as the lead and the light as the gold, you're given what the alchemical balance is here so that you can sort of work on this, heal this, alchemize it as we go, and the rest of the spread kind of outlines that. So we're going to start with the shadow because it's Samhain, right? It's Samhain. It's time to embrace the shadow. The shadow attribute pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. Been there, done that, have the stained t-shirt. Don't really do that much anymore. Yeah, I'm 51 years old, but that ain't why. Why? Because when you alchemize the hedonist archetype, as dark as its shadow is, like any archetype, is as brilliant as its light is. So what's the light here? Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. B to the E to the A to the U to the T-Y. Beauty. Well, if you want a king, you have to be a queen. And so just look at that. This is about, if like as I tune to this, and it's hard to keep myself out of it. I doubt I can, I doubt I will. But there is just something so rich and luxurious about this. But of course, in the shadow phase, there's going to be that temptation, right? To pursue pleasure to the detriment of your own health, safety, or the emotional destruction of others, right? It's just how that goes sometimes, physical, emotional, mental destruction. Look, I'm all down for tequila shooters every now and again, right? I do like a nice dry Pinot Grigio, but not really a big drinker anymore. So my hedonism actually comes from mysticism, where I revel in the love of God as both noun and verb. Contemplate that one. So to clarify that, we took the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, which if you've been following me for a while, you know that the deck has the womp womp cards. Oh, and what's at the bottom of the deck? Lust. Oh, she looked at me with lust. He looked at me with lust. So I separated all of the problem suit, right, so that we could look at the lead. And then the other 3 suits in the deck, yeah, the Womp Womp cards are literally half of the deck, are the luck deck, the healing deck, and sorry, the luck suit, the healing suit, and the grace suit. So we're going to start with the lead on that one too. Well, I'm glad you're all having fun. I seem to be having fun too. So let's do this. My masters, please. 1 card in clarity for this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign. What is the lead that they are dealing with in this hedonist archetype that they can alchemize into gold with guidance and grace and willingness, of course, for this Samhain season, Scorpio, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio 2019. Neediness. Now, of course, neediness can be about a person, but it can also really be about addiction, right? It can be about attachment. It does not necessarily have to be just a person. And when that neediness rises up inside of us, it's really, and this is exactly relating back to what I said about hedonism and mysticism, about reveling in the love of God as both noun and verb, that's what we're really missing. That connection to the divine, the love of God, which I call true love, which is why the path of true love, if you've watched any of the readings, the book is in process too, that'll be my 3rd book, ebook. My editor, Jill Schweitzer, is hard at work, hard at work while I'm being a YouTuber. It's the path of true love. It's the path of becoming true love, which we already are. It's about removing the obstacles to love's presence. Thank you, introduction to the Course in Miracles, right? So that neediness, to give that a voice without acting on it, right? When you're just starving for it, but it's a hedonistic thing. So it's about sex, drugs, rock and roll, money, power, other people's resources, right? 8th house Scorpio stuff. So that neediness, that could easily go into the 2nd chakra, deadly sin of greed, or the throat chakra, deadly sin of gluttony, right? And just never enough, although gluttony and greed are very different. They're very, very different in their energetic dynamics. So you can feel that, right? That need. Now look, I need to have a good time. I have a booty call scheduled this week, so fucking excited, right? Because I work a lot, I'm a Virgo. But that I have Mars conjunct Leo rising, and the symbol of Mars is a penis. It's a circle with, yeah, it's a schween, right? It's an Aries schween, a Mars schween. So I need to get my sexual contact every now and again until such time as I become monogamous, and then you can talk to the Virgo part of me to that. Cool. So that neediness, you get that just give it a voice, but there's something underneath that. See, this is spiritual alchemy. Love what rises. That everything that is happening in the outside world is here to help us grow, heal, evolve, and love these pieces of ourselves that have been disowned, hence in the shadow, hence shadow work, hence embracing the shadow. And it's not about having them possess you, because then what does your neediness do when it possesses you? You do shit you regret. Always, always, always. Why? Because it's the lead driving the show. It's toxic. Lead is toxic. So as you embrace it, as you let it have its voice, you treat it like a needy child, because it is. A lot of this stuff that we're dealing with comes from childhood, not all of it, but that's sort of the root of a lot of it. And it was all, this is so important for Samhaintide, because the Samhain 8th Sabbath relates to the 8th chakra. To identify yourself as the soul, who you really are, that was chosen to play the role of the personality, right? The soul of Mark A. Lyons has a name. I don't use that name publicly, but was chosen to play the role of Mark Angelo Lyons, and read the script, knew the character description, saw all the quantum variations of the game of Mark A. Lyons. Same is true with all of us, right? So came in with this hedonistic need, that there's a neediness there. But let us not forget the gold part of this. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. So the good things in life, the things that feed your spirit, right? That allow your spirit to grow, to heal. So to love that child when it's needy, that needy child, yeah, it's inner child work. But if you do it from the 8th chakra perspective of the soul, it's like, oh, honey, it's okay. I know, I'm here. What do you need? It's like, I want candy, right? I want whatever, or oral, anal fixation, whatever it is. I want. It's okay. It's okay. But if it's not showing up, If it's not in the energy field, then this is where we are right now, and that's here to help us. So I love you. I love you. It's okay. And you let that child scream and have a fit. It's a huge emotional exorcism is what it is. So let's see what the gold is, because that, you know, neediness, the fuck doesn't deal with neediness every now and again, particularly if it's about cash, right? No one's saying right away that this is romantic or sexual. It might be with the hedonist archetype, but it could also be about money. It could be about opportunity. Could be about anything, but really it's archetypal. So it's sort of like going on in all areas of your life, usually when you have a dominant archetype like that. Ready? My masters, please, one card for this Leo collective sun, moon, rising sign, sun, moon, rising Mercury sign. For this Samhain season and Mercury retrograde in Scorpio 2019, please. What's the gold here? What's the thing to help heal this? Self-worth. Self-worth. Here's your answer. Self-worth. Self-worth. Yes, you are worthy of the things that you want, but neediness, it's from a lack of self-worth, right? So what are you worth? Now, the ego will tell you you're just outright either worthless or completely entitled, right? It's just, you're just shit, or you deserve, right? You deserve. This card does not say self-deserve. It says self-worth, self-estimation, self-esteem. That when the hedonist really gets, yeah, the ego's going to have all of that. The personality has that written into it, but that can all be healed. That's all temporary. That's not even truth. Why? Because the soul knows that we are the infinite. We are the divine. We are the hidden children of the gods, but it's hidden to ourselves. Our own divinity is hidden to ourselves. Hence this alchemy. As you do this alchemy, as you transform this lead into gold, more of your spirit is revealed. Removing the obstacles to love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. Course in Miracles introduction. Really, it's practically on the first page. Practically, it's a little way in after the preface and the foreword. So look at that, neediness and self-worth, right? This is totally about giving yourself what you need by saying, yes, it is okay. Thank you. Thank you for needing that. But if it's not here right now and it's not something that we can achieve honorably, why honorably? Because we're worth doing it honorably. Otherwise, the means never justifies the end, right? It never does. You must be honorable. So what does an honorable hedonist do, right? Well, let's see. We will take a look at that in the next little spread we're doing here with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. And we're going to clarify those with the angelic, the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. We're going to do a 5-card spread, an element spread. It's really one of my favorite spreads to do. I used to do them at like psychic fair things, which I haven't done in at least 2-3 years, thank God. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a little assembly line. I prefer doing this, actually, and having clients. I actually had a client come to the house today. It was a magnificent read, which I will if you're local. Otherwise, read my info in the box. Read my box. Ready? Let's get your fire, earth, air, water, spirit on this. My gods, Apollo in particular, please shed your light for this Leo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Mercury sign for this Samhain tide. Mercury retrograde and Scorpio combo for 2019. Fire, what does this Leo want? Earth, what does this Leo have to help them get what they want? Air, what are they thinking? Water, what are they feeling? Spirit, what is the overview? Top 5 cards, please, for this Leo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Mercury sign, this Samhain tide, and Mercury retrograde 2019. Maiden, mother, crone. Nothing like a clean cut of cards. Nothing sticks to one of the creases in the fingers. That's great. Let's dive. All right, Leo, what do you want? What do you want? You want to walk the fuck away. That's what you want to do. You want out of Dodge. Now, the thing about the card of withdrawal, the 8 of Cups, it's like that's very typical of that card to see it only that way. And certainly on an intellectual level, that is true. But in this deck, it's called withdrawal. This is going into the self. This is going on an internal emotional journey for healing, right? To what? To embrace the shadow. Well, you gotta go where the shadows are, I gotta say. Put on your spelunking hat, get some crampons. That's CRAMPONS, not a Krampus or a tampon, although somebody should make a meme of that. Not me, not me. I'm not getting pinned on that one. Great. You can send me 10 cents every time someone likes it if you like. I love my royalties. This is about, no, I need some fucking alone time. It's sort of like you could say the Hermit card of the Minor Arcana in this deck. So that's what you want. Let's see what else we got. What is the fire, the wick, the earth that helps you feed that flame, right? Earth, fire. The Virgo card. The Virgo is going to help you do that, honey. Now, again, court cards. I am a Virgo, right? But even I know when the Virgo card comes up, it doesn't always mean me, and it doesn't always mean an earth sign, but it means a Virgo either. Well, I did one called Clarifying Court Cards. It's in my catalog. Go watch. Where this is about 6th house. Health and occupation, not just work, health and occupation. And those two things are linked in this way. What you are occupied by and with affects your health, right? I've been saying crackheads are occupied with crack. It's not really helping them, right? It's not sustainable. To whom is that sustainable? No. But if you are occupied with healing, right? If you are occupied with self-worth, if you are occupied with experiencing the beauties of life, where in this case you would be occupied with your own healing, about going within, about pulling away. But you see, here's the thing that I learned being a witch. And I actually learned this from a Terry Pratchett book. If you're not familiar with Terry Pratchett, I believe it's, well, I know it's in the Tiffany Aching series. I just forget if it's We Free Men or Hatful of Sky or Wintersmith, that witches don't run from, they run to, right? We run towards. So not just a withdrawal, like a tactical retreat, although that certainly can be in this too, that you just need to get the fuck away from everybody for a while. But why? Why? To go into the self, to heal. To heal, to love. It's like I was saying before, to be the maiden, to be the virgin, and to, with total innocence, love whatever rises inside of you emotionally, right? To nurture that within yourself, to heal, my Leos. Well, but then there are some of you too, that there's a Virgo that you know that will help you walk away. It's true. Some of you. Probably 2 or 3 of you. But, you know, I got to go with what the gods are telling me here. So what are you thinking about all of this? Now here, you've got another court card. The Crone of Flames, Sagittarius, mutable fire. That there is something inspiring. There is something calling you forward. There is a passion within you. There is a transformation going on in the mind that certainly may have to do with the Sagittarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Uranus, who cares? Someone Mars, Uranus? Sorry, that's them. No, that's me too. That's why we get along so well. That there's definitely something ninth house expanding, right? Expansion, ruled by Jupiter, expanding the mind, but also that there's a great deal of passion here, right? They're now just directing that line of energy right to that hedonist card, that you might have some hornies, right? You might have that stirring of the cauldron. Stirring my interior cauldron. Sounds like Pornhub. Let's move on. Let's see what you're feeling about all of this, because this is in your mind, this is in your air, so then what's in your water? Strength. Thank God. First of all, people will call this the Leo card, and I will agree because it's got a lion in it, technically a lioness. But the card of strength here, I can feel this in the heart space, right? In the emotional body. This is about courage. This is about the emotional strength to not push your fears aside. Courage. That's not courage. Courage is embracing the fear and doing it anyway, right? Caroline May said, do the thing you're most afraid of, because that is what will most benefit your soul. And it's true. You know, don't expect me to be handling no rattlesnakes. I got snakeophobia. I don't even want to know what the real name of that phobia is. That's why I got cats. A feline, yeah, right? But that's not what we're talking about here. Maybe we're talking about the one-eyed snake. Because especially you're so in the mind. It's like, it's got to be about sexual hedonism, and if it's not, it's about the passion for life and inspiration and living your best, version of your life. What's my prayer every morning? I allow the universe to work through me to bring to life my most fulfilling reality for the well-being of all that I am now, and so it is. And so whether I know it or not, or whether I see it or not, I get that. You know, that's my Leo rising. It's like in for a penny, in for a pound. I want the best version, even if it's not necessarily what I want, right? Because everything then that comes to me is to help me and to develop courage, to follow the heart emotionally, to pay attention to what's going on in the emotional field. Though you may be afraid, though your emotions may seem a little out of control, there is great healing and opportunity here for you to move forward with passion by embracing these shadows, to deal with that neediness, right? To get that everything you need is within. I know, stitch it on a pillow, grandma, throw it on the couch. I get it. But it's the truth. Most cliches are actually steeped in truth, but you know, they get dull in our ear as we hear them over and over and over again. So what's the overall, what's the overview here is another, somebody, look, there are already 3 court cards out of 5 in this one. So Leo, there's people coming in, right? You're not in any kind of hermit mode here, because even if these are all interior energies, it just feels like, particularly because this is the Cancerian side here, that the overview here is about emotions. It is the sign of being at home in your own emotions, being, in a sense, the mother of the emotions, not just that you give birth to them, which symbolically you do, right? A thought interacting with the body becomes an emotion. It's a vibrational thing. Air, when it connects with earth, water, right? Condensation. To deal with that there's emotional healing here. Yes, you give birth to your emotions, but then to mother them, that this feeling of neediness, it's like a baby, and that's not a put down. It's like, think of it as your emotions, not as part of you. We're not our emotions. Our emotions change, right? Who am I? I'm happy, I'm sad. No, I'm not. I'm experiencing happiness, I'm experiencing sadness, I'm experiencing neediness, right? Or I'm experiencing self-worth, the healing of the healing self-worth, right? But that's not who we are. We're not our emotions. We're not our thoughts. We're not our bodies. We're not our choices, our decisions, or our actions. We are the spirit. So the spirit is kind of saying here loud and clear, this is a time for you to love those emotions without them running the show. Otherwise, this hedonism is going to turn into self-medication, regardless of form, to numb that emotional pain. And who the fuck hasn't done that? But we're in a different world now. When I got away with it in the 80s, there were no fucking cell phones with cameras. So I got a lot of that out of the way, right? Even video cameras, you had to walk around like this. So yeah, not so much anymore, but you know, I get it. Be careful with this, that this is an opportunity for you to mother love yourself, or to just give yourself, to be at home in your own emotions, right? It's the emotional home. It's not a physical structure. It's about wherever you are. You home is have you invited your soul into the body? Because the soul needs to incarnate fully into the body. So who better than a hedonist? Look, your soul doesn't have judgment about necessarily good or bad. It's here to play the game. It's here to embody and play the role of the personality. But at some point, the personality will keep hitting roadblocks, will keep hitting pain, will keep ignoring the dictates of the soul to have courage, to move forward, to pull back and heal, right? Heal, focus on the healing, or you know, whoever or whatever that is, because your mind so on fire with passion and what you want. I'm sorry, that feels kind of sexual when I touch it. You know, it's the Crown of Flames. I've worked with this deck for over 20 years. I don't necessarily get that off that card, but it's sort of in there to nurture that, because I get then where this need is coming from, but the need can really only be satiated by going within and healing and doing the emotional work and your courage. Look, I'm going to tell you, you want to go through, you want to win the game of life, you got to let the soul teach you courage. And I don't know how else that is done except by following the dictates, not of the emotional heart, but of the soul, and to love what rises and not let it possess you. Because the relief afterwards, it is like exorcism. It's like a good vomit or the passing of the storm. The skies are so clear. So let's, speaking of clear, clarify with these angel cards, please, my angels. One card in clarity for this 8 of Cups walking away for this Leo collective Samhain Mercury Retrograde read. Oh, Archangel Michael, oh, bitch, there's only one Archangel card in this deck, and you got it. To truth, you're going within for truth. Now, look, you can say what you want about Archangel Michael. He's got a lot of lore, right? It depends on who you read. Oh, he's the blue flame. No, he's the this flame. He's the, oh, who cares? Archangel Michael is the spirit, is the angel of truth, the one who holds the sword at the throat of the devil. No, no offense to any Satanists out there. I don't play either way on that subject. But it is about truth versus illusion. And an illusion is not a real thing. So it's about really going in to find your truth, pulling back, walking away, and not just going in, walking away emotionally, right? Because you got some spilled cups here. There's been some loss. You fucked up. You knocked some over, or somebody knocked them over for you, but you're going inward to find, to quench your thirst with the cool, not so cool waters, sometimes burning, scalding waters of truth. Who Archangel Michael will set you free, that's for sure. Because the truth will, you know. But it'll usually piss you off first, so you might as well do it in the privacy of your own home or wherever. My angels, please, one card's in clarity for the earth here. What is, you got an earth sign in the earth position. What's going on with this Virgo here for this Leo collective? Please clarify. The blessings. This does feel like a person. Now, I can't say, you know, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It says Virgo on the card that there is a Virgo. And so check if you have Virgo in your chart, but there are blessings here for you, or that your ability to bless, or someone who is a Virgo is a blessing upon you. And a blessing of what? Occupation and health. But again, occupation, if you only look at it for what you do as a living, you miss a lot of what this one is about. But there is an opportunity here for your healing if you get occupied with the business of healing, certainly, but also look to, I would say, a Virgo, someone, even if they're not Virgo, sun, moon, rising, you know, whatever, but that they have that sort of diligent, analytical service kind of thing. You could say this is about self-service, particularly if you have planets in Virgo, right? So let's look at this Sag. Please, my angels, want to clarify this Sag for this Leo collective Samhain reading. Oh, serenity. Now. Serenity now. With the Sagittarius card with serenity, that this mind that's on fire, focus on the breath. Bring yourself into serenity. All right. Here's my version of the serenity prayer. Oh, God, Goddess, all that is, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Zan, Jaina, whoever, whatever, help. I accept, right? Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And usually what it is that I can change is my breath. I'm not kidding here. The deeper the breath, the more you relax in the moment. It's just about remembering, right? When your mind becomes active and on fire, just breathe. You're not trying to exhale the thoughts and get rid of them, but you will slow them down, right? And the deeper your breath, the deeper the thought, the more you can contemplate without getting caught in the mental looping. So there is an opportunity here for mental serenity, not to put out the fires of passion and inspiration and expansion, but to also get, it's like, then I'm going to do what I can do, and I'm going to accept what I can't do. And I'm just going to take the hedonistic path of least resistance, right? Because that's in here too, to soothe that neediness. Because what if that's what that Sagittarius, but I need that, and I need that, and I need that, and I need that. No, you want that. You don't need it necessarily, right? Is it food, clothing, or shelter? My mom would say, no, Hera, I love you. If you wouldn't be watching these, you don't know any planets in Leo, and you don't watch my channel anyway, Mom. Yeah, you know, is it food, clothing, or shelter? Those are necessities. Everything else is a luxury. Well, except love, right? You know, but I was born in 1968. Of course, I would say that, but it's also the truth. So now let's clarify this. The kitty card. Hey, kitty card. Please, my angels, one card in clarity for this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising Mercury sign for this Samhain tide, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. What's going on here with this Strength card for them? Trust. Trust. Walk forward and trust. Take the risk. Be courageous. Trust what your heart is telling you. We're not necessarily just talking about your emotional heart, but you know when something opens your heart and when it doesn't, don't you? Talk about sparking joy when your heart chakra begins to creak open. And sometimes that can be incredibly painful in terms of like, but I'm so afraid to feel this. It's like walking around with this closed fist for 30 years. And then one day something happens and it's ow, 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 owie, 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 owie. But at the same time, this is the more natural, relaxed position, right? To open the heart, to trust love, to trust the love in your heart, to trust that you are being guided, that this is part of a larger plan. But right now, think about it in terms of, well, let me trust that if I love what rises, because here's your spirit card in the overview. If I just picked the top card, healing. They just told me pick the top card. I picked the top card. I didn't even shuffle them. There we go. Emotional healing. It is a time of emotional healing for you. So of course, why not take Archangel Michael, right, along with you into the cave? It's probably in there anyway, calling you forward, talk about an appointment in Samara. You know, mothering and healing, emotional healing, Cancerian healing. There's gonna be tears. There's gonna be tears, but under those tears are the self-worth, right? That we are worthy, we are divine beings. That's the core of who we are. But we all went through traumatic shit. So is the shadow side of this hedonist just self-medicating? Yeah, that's the shadow side of it, right? Destructive hedonism, where there is an appreciation for the beauty of your own true self in this. But you got to do the crying, the screaming, whatever comes up without like keying cars, offing yourself, or posting it all over social media. No, keep it behind the castle wall, because then what comes from that is such a healing, such an emotional relief. Emotional exorcism, another way of saying love what rises. Read Matt Kahn, his stuff, his video, his YouTube channel is amazing. It really is. It's like, I hate to use this metaphor, but you'll get it, Leos. It's like this burp you've been holding down for a really long time, and it hurts coming up, and then you're like, oh, once it's out. Oh, and then you get that inhale of the new coming in, because it is about erosion. We're going through a phase of erosion right now, right? Samhain tide, so that renewal can come in. Death and rebirth, erosion and renewal, you know, the phoenix transformation, crucifixion, resurrection, call it whatever you want. It's the cycle of nature, and the way this game is, all that rises falls. So we've got one more card left to do, and that's from the Whispers of Love, my favorite new oracle. Yeah, I got a new oracle called the Journey of Love. It's really good, but it's really deep, so I'm still working with those. Those have been exceedingly helpful over the past couple of weeks. Letting go of some really toxic people in my life, actually, all at once. It was just like Archangel Michael buzzsaw week or two. Yeah, when you know how to play the game, right? And that's the thing. You're taught how to play the game as you play the game. So this is the voices of the higher selves of all involved. My higher self, yes, I am Leo rising, as I said. Your higher self and the higher selves of all involved, meaning maybe they're not Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury. But let's ask them for one card. A Whisper of Love. Higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign for this Samhain tide, and Mercury retrograde 2019. What's going on here for this hedonist? Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your action. How's that? How's that? Actions speak loudly. No more words. You're telling me you love me while you're looking away. Oh, Berlin for you right there. Oh, that first album was so good. Totally flashing back. Well, you know, it's Scorpio season. Let's time travel. Do you get? You want to act on your emotions. Absolutely. You want to trust the messages of your heart, right? You got trust with that, but you got to do the emotional healing before you act on it. So this is actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. So, you know, if you're saying one thing and not doing it, right? It's like, no, I'm going to do this. And then you don't. It's not always about, oh, it's not the right time. It's that you don't have the courage, that you're dealing with cowardice, and yet underneath all of that is this need. So you might be thinking, I just don't have what it takes right now, or I am not worth it. So it's actually, well, isn't courage often taken by action, right? Like if your soul tells you, walk the fuck away from these people, walk away from this person, place, situation, whatever, and you are terrified to do it, but you do it because you know it's the right thing to do in your gut, in your soul, that's how you get self-worth. That is what self-worth is. I am worthy of following my truth and stepping away from something, and maybe someone's clinging on to you at the same time. Codependence. Let me give you an overview. Here we go. We've got the hedonist archetype, and just to remind you, the shadow attribute pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. I know, horrible. Used to do it, don't do it anymore. Light attribute inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. Well, blessed be to that. The shadow part of this, the card of neediness, as we've discussed, and self-worth, that the neediness is like a cloud around the central sun of your divine being, your true self-worth. So that self-worth fluctuates. Just with that hedonist, be very, very careful of taking advantage of other people, that you're not devaluing them, pushing them down so that you feel better. That is the hallmark of a narcissist. And that word, we need to get clear. There are many different types of narcissist. There's the aggressive narcissist, everybody knows. Those are easy to catch. But there is the passive narcissist, which are empathic people who are feeling what other people are feeling and trying to people please them because what you're feeling is your opinion of me. So I'm going to people please you so that you feel better, and then I feel better about myself. It's still as fucking manipulative and narcissistic as it gets. But then there's covert narcissist. It's just like, as I just let go of a narcissist from my life, it's so funny how the universe has just given me all sorts of insight and information. Particularly, so there's some pretty interesting YouTube channels on narcissism that have just popped up on my queue. So I've been watching them, right? So it is about self-worth. What drives a narcissist? Lack of self-worth, right? And I've said this in other videos. It's been coming around. It's not that they feel like shit. They feel they are shit. So if that's you, if that's what you're dealing with, if that's what's fueling this neediness, which really keep an eye on your addictions. And just because you don't drink, you don't smoke, well, what do you do, right? Because here in your elements spread, what you want is to withdraw, to walk away, to go into yourself for truth, with truth, or to walk away from somebody with the truth, speaking the truth, which is pretty much always a good idea if you're in a toxic situation. But what you have to do that is this Virgo with blessings. Now, whether you have that Virgo within yourself or it's just a Virgo person in your life, a healer, a friend, a teacher, whoever that is. I mean, yes, I'm a Virgo lover, healer, teacher, all of that stuff too, but you know, I don't know y'all. But there are blessings here, even if it's just that 6th house Virgo energy of healing and occupation. Watch what you're occupied with. Look at what you are occupied with. Is it healing you or is it being destructive? Because what you're thinking, you know, this Sagittarian fiery, mutable desire energy with serenity, it can be like, I want this and I want this and I want that and I'm so passionate about this. But right now, the mind, let me just embrace that there's only certain things that I can do about this, and there are things that I cannot change. And that's true. There are things written into the quantum game, the divine plan, the script of your life that cannot be changed because you signed off. That's what a contract is. You agreed. You signed the contract, the pre-incarnational contract before coming in to do this stuff, right? And so just you're doing the best that you can, but have serenity in place for that. Because in the emotional, in the water thing, we have strength, the strength card with trust, really the Leo card, to be courageous, to trust the process, that whatever it is that you have to heal emotionally in this spirit position, which is the overview of the whole thing, that this is a time of immense emotional healing for you, that if you can trust the process, yes, you're going to cry, yes, you're going to scream, yes, you're going to want to burn the house down and salt the earth, but don't. Just trust that there is a way through this. This is what Samhain is for, particularly with a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio of all things. And then as that heals and culminates, the voice of the higher self saying, my Leo darlings, actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. That sort of kicks ass, because look, everybody's got lead that they're alchemizing into gold, whether they know it or not. I am a spiritual counselor. This is what I do with people all day. If I'm not doing this, I'm on the phone or doing a reading or a spiritual counseling. This is my life. While taking care of cats, doing laundry, tending my gorgeous, beautiful house in beautiful mountainous Holbrook on Long Island. So I will say to you, from one Leo granted rising to another, this is actually very doable. Because remember when this first came out, this feels so juicy, I want to rub it on my chakras. I love the hedonist archetype, but remember the shadow side of it. If you're using it to self-medicate and escape pain, no. That this is clearing you so that you can enjoy and revel in the pleasures and the beauty of this life even more. But you have to eventually express your love through action. You're gonna have to take action. Just feels like right now, do the inner work. Cool. Go yin, then yang. Whatever. I love you all so very much. May the Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Mercury signs be blessed with all that they need this Samhain tide Mercury retrograde season 2019, for the well-being of all, that they may grow, that they may heal, that they become the best that they can be and fulfill their role in the divine plan, and really enjoy the beauty of within themselves and within their own life, and really not to gain self-worth, but to uncover the true worth of the self already within. Cool. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share if you think somebody needs it. Go right ahead and do so. And please do check out your other signs. And if you want a reading or a spiritual counseling, or just go check my box. Go read my box, Leos. Leo! I so want Brian Krause to just orb in one day. So cute. But for now, my darlings, my Leos, hail, blessed Samhain, farewell, and blessed, blessed, blessed bay.